Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Price, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is the third volume in a report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Laura Hamstra as Eli Sharp, and Della Borovic as Morgan Rawls. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are caught in a fresh conspiracy. Morgan and Eli reunited with the Inquisitor, Valentyne reclaimed his weapons and his identity as an Inquisitor, and Attikus captured Trin Rakai and abandoned the Duke. Can these heroes escape with an aeldari hostage, or will they die in the final moments of their mission? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
One of the dropships is now pulling back, having just seen its compatriot shot in the head and crashed. And of course, the blade work of one Sacator Voidsdane. So the crowd is now panicking. They went from being like, rah, 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 we got this, to being like, oh, fuck, we can die. So people are taking cover. This is a pretty grisly scene to walk into. So they're all panicking. You have a downed gunship outside. Morgan, you've just received word that the Roguish Tracer, aka the Marnie Song, is under heavy fire from these crafts, and they're sending in rocket-equipped vehicles to deal with it. What do y'all do?
Yeah, Morgan would definitely relay that and just, Inquisitor, the Marnie Song is en route but taking heavy fire incoming.
And you understand that through the helmet, yes?
Yes.
Do you have the ability to respond?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. And he's just going to take the helmet off of you and put his hat on you and put the helmet on himself. And he's going to grab from his datapad a connector from his rosette, because they can actually get plugged into computers and shit. They've got Imperial Uber code.
That's cool.
And he's going to attach that to the comms device and just take over as much control as he can of whatever network this is with his Imperial jammers. And just say, this is Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne. I am here on the orders of Lord Inquisitor Sabriel Graves of this subsector. Forrest Pollard is a heretic and a traitor to the throne. You have followed him because you believe what you are doing is correct, but I am here with your king, the rightful governor and ruler of this world, in the name of the Emperor. What you have done so far can be forgiven. Firing another shot at anyone other than Forrest Pollard cannot. I speak with the Emperor's voice. I threaten you and your families in his name. Prove your loyalty to the throne or die. Confirmation. Frederick, let them know that what I say is true. And I hand the king the helmet.
He looks at you with like the look of someone who just discovered they're not wearing pants. Like, he heard you yell about the Inquisition before, but like hearing this, hearing who you're who has sent you, hearing it all laid out is a real, like, we've been having a party at mom and dad's house and we didn't know they'd be home. So he just puts the helmet on and goes, listen to the man. He is, Emperor's balls. He's an Inquisitor. He's an Inquisitor.
And I take the helmet back and say, there is your confirmation. Act in the Emperor's name or die at his hands. This is your choice.
Still going to need a roll, though, because unfortunately,
I'm fine with the roll, baby.
Frederick, not the most trustworthy fella. And as you said, Space Marines are literally the Emperor's angels on Earth. So hard to argue, although...
I want to be clear. Even with Frederick's backing, there was no way I was like, and they believe it.
I know.
High stakes. I'm in.
I'm saying Tom was pretty convinced.
I like it.
He just needs the bullshit to happen. So this is, I think, leadership is what I'd argue.
Okay.
Or charm, but I mean, coercion would also work. But I feel like this is leadership. This is you trying to take command of the situation. But I'd be happy to take another argument if you got it.
I kind of like coercion, because he's literally like, I'll kill you, and that's it's like everything is a threat. One top to an Inquisitor said heresy. That's not good.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
It's also not his best stat of all the ones that are going on. Deception, place to strength, and hard truths. But I'm like, nah, this is I'm an Inquisitor and I'll kill your family.
Fair point. Yeah. All right. So
the old hits.
Let's go coercion, please.
Great.
This is just, I kind of want to make this a straight shot. So this could be a difficulty 3.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend any story points on this one because I just want to see what happens in nature. You can though, because that's your right. I'm going to give it a boost from Frederick.
Okay.
And a boost from name dropping. I think even if they don't know the name, any name said with that much authority in the Imperium is usually a pretty rough sign. And also, like, clearly the king is freaking out, which is an indicator that you're on the level. And I'll give you a boost for your broadcasting this. You said you plugged it into your rosette.
Yeah.
So, like, presumably they're also getting the, like, little Aquila rosette combo scrolling on their shitty monitors and being like, that's not the icon you like to see. So that's what I'll give you on all of those. I don't really have much else to stand in your way on this one.
I'd say I'm just gonna. I don't want to try to screw the party at all, but I feel like a setback because Space Marines are the Emperor's Angels just kind of feels like a reasonable thing to have on top of the difficulty.
Actually, sorry, I'm going to give you two. One because Forrest Pollard has proven himself to be
saner than the king.
Yeah, and just like a legitimate commander. Like even when he was hanging Eli off the wall, he was like, "This is ridiculous. I hate this." So like he's respected as a proper tactician. He is everything they thought a Space Marine should be because they didn't understand the reconstructive surgery or what that meant. So let's go ahead and roll our check.
Yeah, let's see what happens. 3 success and 3 threat.
Okay, dig it. So the threat, I'm going to pass forward to... I'm going to hang on to that for a second. Let's deal with the rest of it, and then we can figure out the threat. So you hear people like confirming over the airways, and it is an awkward situation for all involved because they are literally mid-coup. It's literally people taking their finger off triggers, and you don't get the sense that they're necessarily immediately loyal to you, but they're also not going to fuck with you until they understand what's going on. This is honestly that scene from like way the fuck back when the Royal Guard, when you're chasing the 3 thieves down and Morgan had to like feint to avoid getting shot. It's like, this is the kind of Royal Guard shit you're starting to see now, which is like, we don't know what to do and none of us are leaders. We've never been allowed to be leaders. None of us have ever been trained to be leaders. So when command gets decapitated, we just kind of freeze like deers in the headlights until someone bigger than us tells us what's going on. So you've successfully kind of taken that piece off the board. You can hear that they've ceased their assault on the vehicles. So
I want to be a fly on the wall in whatever room Forrest Pollard and his contingent of guards are in as they get that message and just like turn to look at him. I'm assuming they're not the first ones to confirm over the channel.
Oh,
I was
no.
gonna say, technically, with the blanket comms, Forrest Pollard would get the message from Valentyne at the same time. So he hears it in his
absolutely.
helmet at the same time everybody else does.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is missing a helmet. This is part of his backstory. But yes, he would get the comms. He would definitely get the comms. Yeah. He's got a microbeat or something. Yeah. That's an interesting room. I like the implication, Tyler, that there's people there to hear it by the time that communication is done being...
That I have to assume that, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's where Freebird's playing. They're just looking up as a fist comes through a face.
Freebird has been playing ever since the spikes were taken out. He just needs the nails back in.
As he stares at the place that would take him home.
That's his madness. Nonstop. Freebird on
nonstop
loop.
Freebird.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're getting comms that, again, the birds, and I keep saying birds, we have an actual robot bird. You know what I mean? The
Different
dropships
bird.
have
if you want to go with a dropship term, this may not be technically correct, but if we want to hit 40K, you could just say they're Valkyries. It's an Imperial Guard.
Sure, they're like, but they're modified. Like they're meant to be worse than a Valkyrie, but in that ballpark. So
it's like a Falcon gunship.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Discount Falcon gunships. The rental car of Falcon gunships. Squee.
Scree. Excuse me. There's an R, sir.
I'm sorry.
I was making bird references.
Oh, I thought you were just really excited. And then it got me thinking about the Magic the Gathering goblin. You know, lots of things happen for me in that minute.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
So, having successfully defended your ship, it's time to get downstairs to Tyler's Point. Shit is getting bad down there. So with you now, it's the four of you. Eli's got Trin Rakai. You've got King Frederick. Now I think you've probably got the closest guards at the very least. Have kind of fallen in around you. And Frederick kind of gives an order, and they go in like, in kind of classic big fancy house, there's like a part of one of the stairwell. Harry Potter would have lived under it. It's just like a door opens and there's like an emergency valve in the floor, which they crank open up, leads into a much more industrial tunnel leading down into the guts of the ship. So all of you begin piling your way down there.
We'll let them go because we got to have a brief tactical moment here for the team.
Okay.
As Valentyne just pulls in the core crew. Takes
Wait, am I just? I was going to say, am I like
Rakai,
holding
so
him
Eli doesn't
out?
have to deal with Trin Rakai. No, he doesn't have anywhere to fucking go. There's falcons running around shooting everybody outside, and he'll just say, "Eli, I believe babysitting, shall we say, a heretical Xenos may not be playing entirely to your strengths in this circumstance. I know you have been itching for battle for a long time now, which is why I offer you this chance." And he flips around his power sword and extends the hilt to you. Very few in this galaxy, in this life, in the Imperium have ever had the stoic heart that's allowed them to stand against a space marine. I believe you have that heart.
And with this sword, I have the weapon. Yes, absolutely, sir.
Excellent. The two of you must engage up close, Attikus and Eli. Morgan, you and I will be firing from a distance, trying to gain whatever advantage we can. The one thing none of us can do is hesitate. The moment you slow, the Astartes wins, and we all die. Do you understand?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I say this to you all, and I mean it. Today, friends, and you are my friends, we fight for the throne. We fight to bring this grotesque Xenos with us, but we fight for the Emperor. Any of us may spend our lives in these coming moments. They will be worthwhile moments. We cannot fail. But there is no one else I would rather take this chance with. Any final words for the record?
It's been a frustration and an honor, sir.
Agreed.
For the Inquisition, we'll do this.
Agreed.
Is about chugging time, sir.
I could not agree more. Advance. And he'll let Attikus and Eli get a little bit ahead, and he'll just rest a hand on Morgan's shoulder and say, "Don't die. I still owe you a story." And then he'll advance himself, knowing that that'll motivate her more than anything.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Morgan hates not getting paid.
There's a smirk. Oh, there's a smirk under this cool hat.
All right. And with that, you all begin your descent down into the guts of the Cloud Palace, dropping down dramatically, each of you, Eli and Attikus, fast rappelling down this ladder. You find the few royal guard who are left moving ahead of you, kind of weapons up. This is very classic, steaming pipes. There is crossfire already coming down the hallway towards you as the few people Force Polar didn't just murder open up, and immediately there's kind of like crossfire as they slowly advance. Valentyne I guess actually Morgan over your comms, because
Valentyne still has it. Yeah,
you've got the helmet, right?
Yeah, he's wearing it.
So, Force Pollard.
And he will patch it in to the micro beads so the whole group can hear if there's weird shit going on, because he's got the tactical ability to do that.
And the Space Marine, the fallen Space Marine, speaks in your ear, says, "An Inquisitor, you and the rest."
I am an Inquisitor, the rest are my band. And you, a World Eater.
Once, perhaps again.
Oh, never again. Did they tell you they could reverse it?
The skinny monster said he could. They said if I get home, that they'll be able to put them back in.
Oh, that's adorable. See, I'd always assumed that 1,000-year-old heretics were smart, but it turns out you're a fool. You've been betrayed, you've been used, just like the Emperor used you, and Angron used you, and the gods used you, and now you are used by an
Shut
aeldari.
your mouth about Angron. You know nothing. And you just hear like a crackle fizz as he breaks his comms.
Perfect. He no longer has the ability to coordinate his forces. Strike fast.
So immediately all of you begin your like heroic surge down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
At which point there's a groan through just the floor and walls around you. And Trin Rakai just like sucks air through his teeth like, oh, shit. And immediately the entire Cloud Palace lurches sideways. You're all thrown against the what was the wall and is now the ground. As the entire palace begins to shift, you hear screaming wrenching of metal and explosions deep within the palace. As an arc of purple electricity flies past all of you, just completely like ripping through one of the guards. You see plants begin to burst from his skin, from his eyes, as his body falls over, convulsing. The tubes around you begin dripping with a green, filmy substance. And Rakai just says, he's activated the portal. We have to go now. This is going to rip all of Greybridge apart. The planet will not survive. We must go.
Valentyne would just do a quick comms to the roguish tradester to tell them to break atmosphere and get the fuck out of here. And then it's just, no more commands, no more hoping. It's time for the killing. And he's just going to, whoever's still down of his core team, fuck these guards. He doesn't even care about the king. It's just anybody he can help up. He's helping. All
right. So the four of you book it down the hallway with, again, Trin Rakai in one hand, Frederick in the other. The palace begins to right itself, but you can hear chunks of it falling away. You can hear screams. And as you run past several layers that have been shredded off, wind buffets you. You can feel the Cloud Palace descending and snapping out of it at distance. All of the technologies that were used for weather control have turned against the planet. You see just superstorms forming, these lightning strikes from the ship bursting out of the portal, ripping chunks of planet away. And you can see that the structural integrity of Greybridge is not long for this plane of existence. Rushing forward, you enter a large chamber, very Matrix-y in terms of like the Nebuchadnezzar's engine room, that kind of shit. So big, heavy cabling. And in the center, a stone portal in an old chunk of earth that's clearly been ripped up from Greybridge itself and installed here. There is an ancient Eldar webway portal, cracked, splintered, but meticulously placed back together. And above it, a massive gem. Before it, you see Forrest Pollard, hand on his axe, just bashing his hand against runes. And Trin Rakai just kind of mutters, again, can't fucking help himself. This monkeys, you can put them in any amount of armor. Can't even read. Just as he desperately tries to get the portal to work, through the portal, you can see the warp itself. Swirling, horrifying mists. So happily not clear enough that your poor mortal brain immediately turns to sludge.
Yeah.
If you were a psyker, this would be like if your eyes were closed and you held a pillow over your head, that amount of warp is what you're seeing as this portal undulates and fluctuates.
Valentyne would say over the comm bead, like, all eyes on the Marine, no eyes on the portal. Get as close as you can. The moment he turns, we open fire.
Oh, baby, you know he's turning.
We open fire. We open fire, he says, as he just starts pulling the trigger.
And he just screams something akin to, finally! Let's roll some attacks. So we have seldom done initiative in this game, but today's that day. I'll say for the shooters, you can get a free shot. because he is at distance. So it doesn't make sense to me that he would magically, we're not doing the action movie thing where the people with the guns just wait until the martial arts person gets close enough to punch the gun out of the way.
Yay.
So the shooters get free shots,
open
and then
fire.
we'll sort stuff out. So give me vigilance checks, please.
Okay.
Lovely. I'm going to use my observant talent to add a success automatically.
Oh shit!
I get to do that once
It's one of those
per
once per
session.
game ones you've been holding on to. Yeah. This is the right time.
And this is a 0 difficulty because we're just seeing who rolls highest,
correct.
right?
Oh, okay, cool.
I have 1 success and 2 advantage.
Yeah. I'm also putting together a pool right now, so I need to write all these down. 1 success, 2
advantage for Valentyne.
2 success, 2 advantage for Eli.
Okay.
2 success, 1 advantage for Morgan.
Okay.
3 successes, 3 advantage for Attikus.
Hell yeah. All right. And then we get my boy Forrest Pollard coming in with
A
no
despair.
ranks in vigilance. So
I know you can't get a despair. I know you
On
can't do
his,
it.
on his.
I respect
only
it. I
his.
respect the hustle. Okay. 4 successes, 1 advantage.
Motherfucker.
Space
He's a
Marines don't need
space
ranks. They're Space
marine.
Marines.
Okay. So shoot real good, Morgan. Shoot
Okay.
real good.
Okay. Okay. Oh, good.
Oh,
What's
a
the
white
difficulty?
armored Chaos Space Marine is rushing towards you, frothing at the mouth, desperate for the pain he no longer feels from his missing butcher's nails. I'm going to say range band with a sniper rifle too. I mean,
Okay.
he's not that far. Like he's far enough. He'd be far away for other guns, but I feel like with a sniper rifle, it's kind of absurd to be like he's too far away. So yep, we'll say range band 2. So 2 purple.
Okay.
He has a defensive 2.
2 setback.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be. I said it was 2 purple.
Yes.
It is now 2 red and a purple. But he's got an adversary 3.
Jeez.
Space Marine.
Yep.
Space Marine.
And theoretically, he has fear, but you've been around him a lot, and I think we've probably dealt with that narratively at this point. Like, he's a Chaos Space Marine now, but you've always
That's
known he's a
true.
Marine that you'd probably have to kill, so I'm just going to let it ride.
Okay.
Okay, and then you take your usual fun stuff.
Okay. So I get boost for the accurate sniper rifle, and then 2 boost for aiming, and I get to drop 1 setback from aiming.
Okay.
Nice.
That's my business.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh. It's 1 threat, 2 successes, and 1 triumph.
That's so nice.
Oh my god, I'm so stressed.
I'm ready to fix my trauma by murdering this man.
This is therapy in 40K.
That's right. That's right.
Surely the
right.
cycle of violence will end with this final murder.
Yeah. So the Orstia told me. Okay, thanks. Sorry. So the Humanities told me. Part of the Orstia. All right. So how would you like to spend your triumph, Del? This might be the most important triumph spending we've had to date.
Yeah. I think I would like to shoot him, and I shoot him in the head so good he can't see no more. He's like, no eyes for the Space Marine.
No eyes for the Space Marine. That's a pretty big spend.
If I can. Otherwise, pitch me thing.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it.
He's gonna be fighting my friends in close combat. That's what I would like to hamper him in any way possible.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm not gonna make him lose his eyes in one round. That feels strong, but
Something.
yeah, I think you shoot him across. Like you fire the bullet, he manages to like turn his head, but it scores just across his like forehead and just splits the skin across things. So he's just got blood pouring down into his eyes and face. Makes him look badass.
Yeah,
but
wrestler
it's gonna
style.
Give him, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but too many cuts. So he's gonna have disadvantage in combat. We'll add that as 2 setback.
Great. And then,
One for each
What's
eye.
your damage?
Yeah, and then the damage is 8 plus the 2, so it'll be 10 damage on the sniper rifle. Not
10
meant for
damage.
shooting Space Marines, but it's there.
Is it piercing?
Nope, because I have normal ammo. So I don't know if
Takes
that really does anything. So
Some damage.
thanks for the
He
triumph.
takes a scored line across the forehead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you'd said the ranged people are firing before combat starts.
Correct, which would also mean you, my boy.
Bolt pistol land. Difficulty, I'm assuming a lot of this is the same. 2 red, 1 purple, 2 black for setback.
Your range band would be 3, so it'll just be 3 red. Because you're using a
okay.
pistol. I was giving Dell a range band of 2 because she was using a sniper rifle at distance.
Cool.
You're like, yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you, baby. That sounds fine.
Yeah.
I am going to use a maneuver to aim,
Okay.
and I am going to spend 2 stress to use an additional maneuver to aim to give myself 2 boosts
Yeah.
Good, nice.
to
There you
balance the
go.
setbacks.
Smart.
You'll also get a setback from Dell's roll.
Okay.
My
I'm
one
getting
threat.
jostled by Trin Rakai, and I imagine
Yeah.
I kept him away from jostling her. So
Yep,
net gain.
smart
Thank
play.
you.
And what was the other thing I had for you? Maybe I don't have another thing for you. Maybe that's it. That's it.
All righty, let's see what happens.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. I've got defense of 2.
I already included those. Those were in there
great.
as
Okay,
setbacks.
perfect. Sorry,
already.
that was the thing. That was the other thing.
I'd had that built in. All right, Tom, we certainly do love a fucking weird. 2 success, 2 advantage,
Fuck.
and a despair.
God damn it.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Okay, I've got something for that. Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, yeah, as long as you got
I'll
something
tell
for
you
the
about the
despair.
Yeah, he still gets hit. You still hit him. Just bad stuff.
Great. 12 damage with Pierce 2.
Okay.
And the crit is 2, so I'll activate a crit.
Yeah.
Let's go to the board.
Yay! Alrighty, I gotta get my D100.
I have an
It's been a
ancient piece of
while.
paper from the first time we played this that's yellow with time that is on the crit
That's amazing.
board here.
Amazing.
All right, Ryan, what do you got?
I got some dog shit, man. I rolled a 14,
Oh.
but I get to add 20, so it's a 34. This is a bolt pistol, so they're vicious too.
34. He is stunned. He's staggered until the end of his next turn.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Wow.
So bolt pistol round hits him, blows a chunk off of the side of it. And again, like bolt rounds built for taking out power armor, and I mean flesh as well, but they're little explodey guys. They're meant to really fuck this shit up. He throws his head to the side, blood just sprays off of it. He's blinking it away. But you did roll despair, so I'm gonna say, like, as is usually the way, we're imagining this is like the walking forward firing thing. Couple rounds hit him to do the damage. Third one misses as he moves, and it clips the edge of the portal. And there is a massive kind of like twisting eruption as the portal shatters. And as it does, rips in space-time begin to form, just kind of jagging out of it and growing, taking chunks of the ship with it, and the entire ground beneath you begins to twist and bend and break. And you see these rips, as soon as they start, they're striking straight down into the planet. Parts of the planet are being sheared off. You see it's very Krypton. Just full things are breaking off, and the Cloud Palace is less, towards the ground, and now is just straight up dropping from the sky.
This is a horrifying moment for everyone else who doesn't have Valentyne's tempered will, because for Valentyne, anything that makes this situation more dangerous and unpredictable works in our favor. 4-on-1 with a space marine, we lose. We lose 10 times out of 10. We gotta go nuts.
All right. He is up next. So with a roar of fury, and just as he blinks through the blood, just the quickest glance over his shoulder, and his scowl deepens. Sorry, I gotta look up stunned because I don't think anyone's been stunned in this game for like 10 years.
Yes.
I might have stun from a rad grenade
Fucked.
once upon a time. Stun, do
fucked
strain
indeed.
damage instead of wound. Oh, but that's
agree,
not
no.
the stun status, though. Yeah.
Is it staggered? Staggered. Oh, fuck me. Okay. There we go. Pick
Yeah,
up
did
from
you
here.
find it?
Sure did.
I think you can't move.
Staggered.
Yeah.
Cannot perform actions, including downgrading actions to maneuvers. Most effects that stagger a character last for a set duration. Set duration is not specified. It lasts until the end of the character's next turn. Character is staggered multiple times. They stack. So he can't.
So as we said, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck.
So yeah, we're just see, that's why the portal got hit. It's a lot of bolts that aren't necessarily all piercing the ceramite of the armor, but are just blasting holes in the outer coatings of the power armor.
Yeah, and admittedly, he has also and as it's doing so, you can start to see the rusted iron underneath as the shells are blowing away the heavy kind of caked on paint that he's worn. But yeah, it's just like that as well. There's just paint chips and shit flying. He's bleeding from above his face, just roaring in fury, and just stands there, I guess, as the Power Fist Brigade arrives.
Yeah.
So, Attikus, in the immortal words of Del, fuck this guy. What do you do?
It's my wedding night and I'm fucking someone.
Hell yes.
Yes.
Fuck.
A+, no notes.
It's I think Attikus has probably, facing down orc forces, has probably been in this headspace before, but never to this degree. But it is basically like, I need to punch first and hard, or I may never punch again. And so he's throwing everything he's got into this big swing with the Power Fist.
All right, go for it. It's melee, so difficulty 2.
Okay.
He's an adversary, though, so he upgrades that to 2 red, 1 purple.
2 red, 1 purple.
Get a boost from Valentine's shot.
Okay.
I'm going to spend
How many setback, Tom? Because he's got his melee defense, right?
Yes, 2. Melee defense of 2. I'm going to spend a story point to jack up this difficulty to 3 red.
Okay. I am also going to spend a story point, just the philosophy that I outlined for Attikus of it's I do this or I die.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'll give you a boost for the blood in his eyes. He's clearly it should affect him attacking. I'm going to give him 2 setback when he attacks. I'm going to give you 1 boost when fighting because he.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is his 3 reds and 2 blacks against my 4 yellow, 2 green, and 2 blue. It's edged in our favor, but we've seen this stuff go bad before.
Do it.
Rolling. 1 success and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantage. I think that means I can use Sunder.
Activate something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got this axe that he's hanging on to. Sunder.
Be a real shame if something happened to it, you know?
1 advantage to activate. Damage enemy weapon. 1 advantage for minor, another one for moderate, another one for major, and another one for destroying it. I have the advantage in the bank to destroy his axe.
As you throw your fist forward, he blinks the blood away and just gets the axe up in front of it, and you just close your fist around the axe, shattering it as you punch him in the chest.
Excellent.
Yes. Yes.
My Power Fist damage is 17. Breach 2
So Pierce 4.
with knockdown. I spend 2 advantage for that. I'm out of advantage for that. So
Okay.
we're not knocking him down, but yeah.
All right. So you crank back again, just like punch like you've never punched before. You grab the axe as you punch forward. It shatters in your hand. Pieces of the blade kind of fly out of your fist as you squeeze it tight. And you punch him in the chest, knocking him backward. And as he goes, he catches one of the shards of the axe out of the air, and he rakes it across your throat. Blood gushes out of the wound as you kind of gasp for air, staggering back. And as you see the ceramite armor indented with the power of your strike, he stumbles backward, grabs the seed with one hand, and falls into the warp. Immediately, things get fucking weird. The stone being pulled from the portal destabilizes what little stability it had left. And around you, the floor gets soft. It gets wet. The ripples of the warp begin to break apart and consume you. The Cloud Palace itself shatters and tears. Frederick is just screaming, "Fuck!" And Trin Rakai, just kind of grinning, grabs onto you, Valentyne. Like,
yeah, Valentine's still been Mr. President again with one hand, so
holding
we're
on
together.
to you now, and he says, "Looks like we're going for a ride." And the palace rips in half, and all of you are thrown into the sky. But up isn't up anymore. The sky is no longer one you recognize. And as your vision blurs and undulates around you, you fall, arcing out of the sky into squishy, spongy dirt. Valentyne, with your bionics and your tempered will, you're the first to be able to kind of pull yourself out of this. You stagger up slightly, still holding Trin Rakai, who is laughing through a shattered nose, face down in the loam next to you. And getting up, you see an alien landscape ahead of you. Green, squishy, seemingly stone reaches out on a plateau that dips into a cavern with massive building-sized teeth. In the distance, you can see spiked ridges that seem to have eyes opening and shutting on them, above which are two alien moons. To your left, Attikus, holding his organic hand over a torn throat. To your right, Morgan, unconscious but alive. Around you, chunks of the Cloud Palace fall like meteors. You see people fall off of them. You see tongues flick up from the ground, grab them and pull them down. You see a flash of gunfire in the distance. There's no sign of Eli. You realize you've landed somewhere far, far from home. Somewhere far, far from your galaxy. Somewhere far from the light of the Imperium. You have landed on a chaos world. Deep, deep in the warp. And there's only one thing left to do. You must rip and tear until you are home.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Brian LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Laura Hamstra, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com. or find us on social media at DumDumDice. That's DUMB, DUMB, DICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia Delos Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gata Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Dan the Welshman, Afflicto Gaming, Aiden, Beef Not Cheese, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.